You know you're being manipulated when you find yourself hating people you've never met. Not just politicians, not just public figures, entire groups, men, women, the left, the right, people whose names you don't know, but you're sure they're the enemy. This video is not about taking sides. It's not a pro-Trump video. It's not an anti-Trump video. In fact, it's not really about him at all. It's about you, your mind, and whether you actually think for yourself or just feel what you've been trained to feel. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. Stay. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." Today I want to test that against the modern world of politics, algorithms, and outrage. Because if your judgments are not your own, your hatred isn't either. And a man who doesn't control his hatred doesn't control his life. Let's set the ground rules. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what party you support. I don't care if you love Trump, hate Trump, or wish everyone would shut up about him. This is not about deciding who is good and who is evil. This is about understanding how you are being emotionally engineered. Because in 2026, there is an entire industry built on one thing: keeping you agitated. Politicians want your outrage. Media wants your outrage. Social platforms want your outrage. Calm people don't click. Calm people don't binge watch. Calm people don't live in the comments section. So if you are frequently angry, frequently disgusted, frequently certain that those people are ruining everything, you are profitable to someone. The question is, are you also free? Let's walk through how this actually works. You open your phone, you scroll. The platform does not ask, what is true? What is balanced? What will help this person become wiser, calmer, more rational? No, the platform asks, what will keep this person here the longest? And the answer over and over is outrage, fear, contempt. You see a clip of a politician saying something outrageous. You see a headline designed to humiliate a group you already dislike. You see a short, cherry-picked moment of someone at their worst. Your nervous system lights up. Your tribe is under attack. Your values are under attack. Your identity is under attack. You watch, you comment, you share, you search for more. The algorithm learns, this is what hooks you, more of this. So tomorrow you get more of the same, and next week and next month. Until eventually you're living in a curated reality where the other side is always insane, your side is always righteous, and there is never a reason to question your own certainty. You think you are becoming politically aware. In reality, you are becoming emotionally domesticated, not by a government, not by a shadowy conspiracy, by an attention machine whose only job is to keep you here. A Stoic would call this slavery, not of the body, of the mind. Now let's get more uncomfortable, because the manipulation is only half of the story. The other half is you. When you feel intense hatred toward a public figure or a group of people you'll never meet, something is being exposed in you. Let's take a modern lightning rod as an example. Trump. For some men, he is a hero. For others, he is disgusting, intolerable, unforgivable. I'm not here to tell you which is correct. I'm here to ask you what your reaction reveals. Look at him not as a politician, but as an archetype. Blunt, unapologetic, unfiltered, often reckless, visibly indifferent to social approval. For many modern men who feel passive, cautious, afraid of speaking their mind, a man like this is a mirror. He embodies in exaggerated form a kind of raw confidence they don't have. So they do one of two things. They worship him, or they despise him. Worship says, He is everything I wish I could be. I'll copy him, defend him, excuse anything he does because he represents my fantasy of power. Despising says, he is everything wrong with men, gross, toxic, embarrassing. I'm not like that. I'm one of the good ones. On the surface, these reactions look opposite. Underneath, they are the same. Both are men unable to sit with their own lack of power, their own fear, their own confusion about what masculinity is supposed to be. Instead of building their own grounded strength, they attach their identity to a symbol, for or against, and then they call it morality. Now let's look at women. For many women, a figure like Trump can embody danger, arrogance, disrespect. If you've known men who abused power, ignored boundaries, or treated people as objects, a man like this is not abstract. He is a reminder. But there's another layer most people don't talk about. A lot of women look at the public archetypes of strong men, then compare them to the men actually in their lives, partners, fathers, brothers, co-workers, men who are often passive, indecisive, conflict avoidant, addicted, apologizing for existing. So, on one side, they see a man who is, at least unapologetically, himself. On the other side, men who seem unsure of what they are at all. That contrast creates a very deep resentment, not admiration for the public figure, not approval, but a painful awareness. This is what unrestrained male power can look like, and the men around me don't even have the backbone to misuse power, let alone use it well. So again, hatred becomes layered, real moral disagreement, real fear, plus resentment at the weakness they experience at home, and terror at what might happen if that weakness suddenly turned into raw, directionless strength. None of this is conscious. It simply appears as, I hate him, I hate them, I hate that side. A Stoic would ask, where is your judgment here? What exactly are you reacting to? And what does that reaction say about you? We like to imagine that division out there is caused by evil people, bad politicians, corrupt media. But division is only possible when individuals are already divided inside. A man who is at peace with himself, who knows his values, who has confronted his own fear, cowardice, and envy, is very difficult to manipulate. He can disagree, he can oppose, he can take a firm stand, but he does not hate reflexively. He does not need enemies to feel alive. He does not build his identity on despising entire categories of people. Most people are not there. Most people are unfulfilled in their work, confused in their relationships, ashamed of their addictions, terrified of their own potential. So when the feed offers them a villain to focus on, it is a relief. It is easier to hate them than to confront your own life. Easier to scream at a screen than to have a hard conversation with your partner. Easier to rage comment than to build a body you respect. Easier to share a meme than to sit alone with your thoughts and ask, where am I failing myself? The outer war is a distraction from the inner one. Stoicism says, you cannot control who is in power. You cannot control what the algorithm shows other people. You cannot control what your culture worships or hates. You can only control your own judgments, choices, and actions. Which means, if you are constantly outraged, constantly hating, constantly dividing the world into good and evil, that is your responsibility, not theirs. So what do? How do you stop being a product and start being a person? Let me give you a few simple, brutal practices. First, the Stoic pause. The next time you feel that surge of hatred or contempt, stop. Don't comment. Don't share. Don't rant. Ask yourself, out loud if you have to, is this my judgment or something I was fed? Who benefits from me feeling this way? Does this reaction make me a better human being, or just a more predictable one? If the answer is that your reaction only feeds the machine, choose not to feed it. Second, information fasting. For 24 hours, maybe for a weekend. No outrage clips, no political shorts, no rage bait headlines. You are not avoiding reality. You are detoxing from emotional junk food. Instead, read something long form. A book, a deep essay, philosophy. Something that forces you to slow down and think. If this sounds impossible or boring, ask yourself why. Who trained your attention span to only respond to anger and stimulation? Third, steelman the opposition. Take a belief you strongly disagree with, a politician you dislike, a group you think is ruining society. Then, as an exercise, describe their position in the most intelligent, reasonable, and human way possible. Not the caricature you were shown, not the worst 5-second clip. The best case for why a sane, decent person might think that way. If you can't do this, you don't understand them. You only understand the version of them that was packaged to keep you angry. Fourth, turn hatred into a mirror. When you feel that deep, visceral disgust towards someone you don't know, ask, what exactly about them triggers me? Where does that trait live in me, in shadow form or in potential form? If you hate arrogance, are you secretly terrified of stepping into your own authority? If you hate passivity, where are you still refusing to act? If you hate people who blindly follow, where are you blindly following your own tribe? This doesn't mean your moral judgment is always wrong. It means you refuse to let your emotions hide your own work. The world does not need one more partisan rant. It does not need another video telling you who to hate, who to fear, who to cancel, who to worship. The world needs men and women who can hold their own mind, who can stand in a storm of propaganda, outrage, and emotional manipulation, and say, I will think, I will examine, I will not be used. You don't have to agree with me. In fact, I hope you don't agree with anyone by default. What I want is for you to notice, very clearly, the next time hatred rises in you towards someone you've never met. In that moment, you have two options. You can be a product, or you can be a person. A product reacts exactly as designed. A person pauses, questions, and chooses. If you want less division out there, start with more sovereignty in here. If this hits something in you, don't just nod and scroll. Ask yourself, before you close this video, where in my life have I been emotionally domesticated into hating on command? And what is one way I can start thinking for myself today? Sit with that, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for the next episode. Thanks for being here with the Stoic Quotient, where ancient strength meets modern life.